right? I mean, if Warren Buffett got up tomorrow and said, we're going to buy $50 billion worth of a Bitcoin ETF, Bitcoin price would go from 60,000 to 600,000. And everyone that thinks not your keys, not your coin would have 10 times as much energy. And then they can all go and make the world a better place with 10, or like you can have your values, right? Ultimately the electricity is coming from a state monopoly regulated institution, controlled by, a government you might not agree with, right? But that doesn't keep you from plugging into electricity, right? Like if you get really angry enough, you can say, I'm not using your electricity and I'm not using the oil either. And I'm just going to get on my pogo stick and jump across the country. But if it's eventually the spring on the pogo stick breaks and then you can't get another spring and then your pogo stick doesn't work. Now you're walking, right? And so I think accommodating reality is just a rational thing. And I think that everybody in the world has different options, right? If you're in Europe versus in the US versus in China versus in South America. And it's not just different by jurisdiction, right? It's literally the case that some people could simply endorse Bitcoin, but they can't buy it. There are plenty of politicians that are endorsed it, but they haven't really bought material amounts of it. There are some people that could buy a security, but they can't buy the property. There are some that could buy the property, but they couldn't self-custody it. There are some that could self-custody it on a phone, but they really can't get to the hardware wallet. There are some that can do it with 5% of their assets. Like, do I judge you if you're not 500% invested? No, I'm going to be 500% invested, but I'm not going to judge you, right? Like maybe you only want to be 100% invested, right? But maybe you only want to be 5% invested, but maybe you're only 1% invested. I think that there's two ways you can use your time and your bandwidth. You can either use your time, in Bitcoin, we can use our time bickering with each other over who's the more orthodox Bitcoiner, or who's better for Bitcoin, like that person's an enemy of Bitcoin, that person's not an enemy of Bitcoin, right? We can be orthodox, extremely orthodox, but where it takes you is at some point, you're like, that person touched a doorknob on Friday at 4 p.m. and they really should not have touched that doorknob. You know what I mean? Right. And that gets pretty extreme. Like 18 years ago, you ate something with pork in it and you haven't repented, right? Pretty extreme. And I get it, but you can spend a lot of time, and we waste a lot of energy.
Yeah,
waste a lot of energy.
It's the waste of time and energy.
Or, like, I believe the whole point of laser eyes, right? If the laser eyes metaphor is focus on Bitcoin, don't get distracted, don't get deluded. What Winston Churchill said, if you stop to get in a fight with every dog that barks at you, you're never going to make it to your destination. It's like you get in a car, you drive across the country, and you got to stop at every intersection. And while you're pumping gas, someone's got a political sticker, of the person that you didn't vote for. So you go and you get in a fight with them, or you find out that maybe the bathrooms are dirty and they violate code. So you get in a fight over that, or you don't like the color, you get in a fight over that, or someone else pulls up next to you and they make fun of your green car and you get in a fight over that. Right. And if you stop and you get in a fight, eventually, I don't care if you're Muhammad Ali, you could be the best fighter in the world. If you get in this is the lesson of, you would think it's a lesson of martial arts. You ever watch these Ultimate Fighters, or you ever study with any degree of diligence about it, what you conclude is on the day when you get in a fight with someone and their buddy is standing behind you with an ice pick, you're dead.